guys, today is Tuesday. I hope everyone's day is off to an amazing start. Thanks so much for stopping in today, guys. All right, today we are talking about all things fragrances, specifically those fragrances that I love wearing on my spring vacations. And so speaking of vacations, my family and I are just back from vacation, and it was so amazing. It was amazing for 3 or 4 different reasons. All right. A, Chase was able to come along with us. That was great. He was on spring break. 2, guys, we went to the happiest place on earth, of course. If you follow me over on Instagram, and you should be, I haven't been posting too much on Instagram as of late because you guys know the store, the Unfrumpy Mommy store, the Unfrumpy Mommy store, she is booked and busy always. However, this particular trip I did chronicle, I think just about every day that we were in Orlando, and see the final reason why this trip was just so amazing. A few days before we left to head out to Orlando, we found out that Chase got accepted into the Disney college program. Oh my gosh. If you guys have been members here on the channel for any amount of time, then you guys will know that my family and I are the biggest Disney heads. I mean, we even had a channel, I think it's still up, gosh, Disney on a Dime. We even started a Disney channel. We haven't posted over there in a while, but I don't know, Eric and I may have to kick the dust off it and get it back going again, because when I tell you we are about to be thrusting in these Orlando streets. So what is the Disney college do? Oh my gosh, I'm getting so tongue-tied. This is just so exciting for us, guys. So what is the Disney college program? I know everybody knows what it is. All right, but just in case there are those of you who are out there, you know, you may not know, Disney college program is where you're 18, you're 19, your 20-year-old who's in college can finish out their college semester or their college year, whatever the case may be, and work and live, yes, behind the gates of Disney. So Disney has this campus, if you will, where all of the students live, and they take online classes, of course, and when they're not doing their classes, they're actually working in the theme parks. Can you guys believe it? So there's a chance that when you guys go to Disney this summer, Chase may be telling you, you know, how many are in your, he may be asking you how many are in your party, or welcome aboard some ride, or whatever the case may be. This is just so super exciting. So Chase will be heading down to Orlando this summer for this, I don't know, it's like a full circle moment. If you guys could be inside of my head right now, you would see so many of me just kind of jumping around, and I'm just so super excited about it. It's going to be so exciting. So like I said, Eric and I, we're already planning out the upcoming trips that we're going to be making to Orlando. It's just unbelievable. We started our life with Chase, with him going to Disney. Chase has been going to Disney since he was 15 months old. Yeah. And so now here he is starting his first job. This is actually his first job. Chase has never had a job before. And how wonderful is it that his first job is actually at Disney World? It is so unbelievable. If you guys have kids or family members who have participated in the Disney college program, please drop down, leave a comment, let me know. I know that you guys can kind of understand my excitement. And so he's not abandoning college. Again, this is the Disney college program. He will absolutely be doing classes, taking his classes online. It's already arranged with his college. And then, like I said, in his off time, on his off time, y'all, I am just so excited. I can barely put my words together. But he, in his off time, when he's not studying, when he's not, you know, going to class, he'll be in the theme parks. It's just so amazing. But anyway, so speaking of theme parks, of course we were there. We hit up the theme parks at both Disney and Universal. So I wanted to share with you the fragrances that I wore. Pink sugar, pink sugar, pink sugar is me, guys. Pink sugar is sweet. Pink sugar is playful. Pink sugar is me, all right? It smells like Hubba Bubble bubble gum and cotton candy. You guys remember Hubba Bubble bubble gum? I can barely say it, but it was just those big square pieces of bubble gum. They were pink. I think they had like strawberry and all different kinds of flavor, but the pink one was my favorite, and I don't understand how in the world I was able to put all that bubble gum in my mouth and chew it, whereas now I take a stick of Wrigley's chewing gum and break it in half because the whole stick is too much for me to chew now. Drop down, leave a comment, let me know if you break your gum in half or you just get the Trident because the pieces are a little bit smaller. But anyway, I digress. Pink sugar is me, sweet, playful, happy, bubble gum, cotton candy. So it just encompasses all the things that I think are fun. So it had to be the scent that I took with me to the theme parks. Now, for a lot of you, pink sugar may be too sweet. It is a very, very sugary, high caloric fragrance, all right? And so I think it needs a little bit of balance. You guys know, like, if you make homemade cookies or you bake homemade cakes, what do you put in there to balance out the sweetness? You put salt, right? So I think for me, I needed to add a little bit of spice to kind of tone down the sweetness. And for that, I added Gourmand's pumpkin epicy. Empty. I used the last little bit of it while on vacation. There's like a quarter of it left. If you guys are able to find pumpkin epicy, please drop down, leave a comment, and let me know where you found it. I actually purchased this at Marshall's. It was $14.99. And what you will find today, guys, with the fragrances that I share, they are all budget friendly. All budget friendly, okay? So this was $14.99. I want to say the pink sugar was somewhere around that same price. But as you can see, I am a huge fan of pink sugar. I have it here in the larger size. I have it here in a size for my purse. And I even have the body mist that I put on after I get out of the showers. Just a huge fan of it. But yeah, but I'm having a hard time getting my hands on some more of the pumpkin epicy. So if you guys see this around, drop down, leave a comment, and let me know what store you found yours at. I have been to countless Marshalls. I went to the Marshalls while we were away on vacation. And while I see other varieties of the Le Monde Gourmand, I have not been able to find this exact one. It is very, very elusive. But what I love about it is, just like the name implies, pumpkin epicy, just pumpkin spice. So to help balance out the sweetness of the pink sugar, oh my gosh, I love this fragrance so much. I just love it. I saw someone was selling it on Poshmark, but I was late and someone beat me to it. But there are the spice undertones that you would get from, let's say, like a pumpkin spice coffee or a pumpkin pie. So again, that helps to balance this out. There are some caramel undertones there. And then what I really, really, really love about it is the notes of like a black coffee. It reminds me of a black coffee. I remember when my mom would be getting up for work, and that is how we knew that it was time to get ready for school. She would be making her coffee. So there are some wonderful notes of coffee here in the pumpkin epicy. On the day that I wore this wonderful combination together, we actually tipped over to Universal Studios' Islands of Adventure. I love Islands of Adventure. It, if you're not familiar, has a lot of the water parks, a lot of the water rides located there. And we just love water rides. Drop down, leave a comment, let me know if when you do the theme parks that have both the thrill rides and water park rides, which do you do first? We do the regular rides first. So we did Kong, there's a Harry Potter area over there, and then we migrated over to the water parks. Why I keep saying water parks? The water rides. And so throughout all of that, and let me just say, the temps in Orlando when we were there on last week were high to mid 80s. So it was hot. Here in Atlanta, if we had high to mid 80s, it would be mild. In Orlando, for whatever reason, the temps hit differently. So it was hot. And so this combination of the pink sugar and the pumpkin epicy worked together to really keep me smelling good. Sometimes the queues were a little bit longer, even though we pay for, what are those passes called? You get to the head of the line. You pay your money and you have a pass where you just go to the head of the line. So we did that, but even still, 2 of the rides did break down, so the queues were a little long. And when I tell you, the ladies around me kept inquiring as to what I was wearing. I did have pink sugar, this one right here, in my bag, so I was able to bring this out and kind of show them what I was wearing. But this, because it was relatively empty, was back at Margaritaville, which is where we stayed. But they just kept complimenting how great I smelled. And keep in mind, we had done the regular theme park rides and we'd done several of the water rides, and this combination was holding up. You would think that because these are really budget friendly fragrances, the fragrance would not last, but it is not true for me. It is not true for me. I layered the 2 of these together, and at the end of our park day, I still smelled amazing. And for me, that is very, very important when we do these theme parks, especially during the warmer times of the year. There is nothing worse than standing in line and you are near and around people who are not smelling, you know, all that fresh. You know, you're getting on and off rides. So this right here for me, this is a great duo. I just wish I could find some more of the pumpkin epicy. So again, if you know where I can find it, please drop down, leave a comment, let me know. I purchased this one from Marshall's, but I want to say, because I've just been scouring the interwebs, I saw that Urban Outfitters? I think it's actually sold there. But I went and they had everything else pumpkin except for this one. So maybe it's discontinued. I wish they would bring it back, because I just really, really love that pumpkin epicy. Gourmand fragrances are my absolute favorite. Like I said, you get those notes, those undertones of coffee, there's chocolate, there's vanilla, there's that little spice, and I just think it all works together just to create a beautiful, beautiful smell. But anyway, another favorite fragrance of mine, and there's Amazon late. Let me digress here just for a quick moment. Drop down, leave a comment if Amazon is no longer delivering in one day. I will order something, as I did day before yesterday, and it was supposed to get here yesterday, and here they are just now pulling up with the order. And that has happened to me on about 4 or 5 other occasions. Sir, don't leave that outside the gate. We have a delivery gate, guys, out in front of the house. And this individual, instead of going through the delivery gate, is walking through the main gate of the house to drop a package off. Anywho, I love sandalwoods. Sandalwood fragrances are rich. Sandalwood fragrances are warm. And sandalwood fragrances are sweet. All right, I love that. I love it. Just a really, really rich fragrance. And so, tipping over into the Target a few months back, went over into the little cosmetic and perfumery area of Target. Drop down, let me know if you have a newly remodeled Target. I do, and I love them. Finery has Jungle Santal. Jungle Santal, I'm sure you all know, is an absolute dupe for SANTAL 33. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And when I tell you, I wanted to buy all that they had. I wanted to buy all that they had, but they only had 2. So I got the last 2. I got the last 2. This is, it's just amazing. I think I've shared with you guys before how much of a fan I am of SANTAL 33. I absolutely love it. So on this particular day, we went to the Kennedy Space Center. And if you know anything about me, I am the biggest, I don't know, I love everything space. I love everything space. The old space though, I don't, the old space. Now the space program for me, I feel it's become a bit too commercial. I feel that any Joe Blow walking can build a rocket, hop in and invite their friends and fly off. I love when it was really technical, when you had to be uber smart and it was about the science, right? So we love going back. We've been, Eric, Chase and I, we've been about 3 times. And on this particular occasion, we saw that they had a new attraction. You sit in a seat, it's like a simulator where you kind of travel throughout the universe, and it was really, really amazing. We didn't have to wait long at all, even though there were some field trips there. And speaking of field trips, you guys know I'm a former educator. And Yurith, hi Yurith. Yurith, if you're in here, drop down, leave a comment, let the people know the type of teacher I was. I was a really, really good teacher. And on field trip days, I would have the venues wherever we went call back. I didn't have them call, but they would just call on their own and comment on my class. They didn't know who I was, but they were able to say, she had the class who walked with their hands behind their back, and they were just so good. Every time, without fail, that my kids and I went on a field trip, we got those types of, you know, comments left for us. When we would get back to the school, the principal would say, I just want to comment, you know, they said that your class, you had the best class. But anyway, I did not play around. One thing you're not going to do is embarrass me out in public. My students were my kids. Those were my children. If I don't go out of the house and get embarrassed. So you know, they knew how to act accordingly. We acted the same way that we would act in the building. We acted when we were out in public. Well, on this particular day at the Kennedy Space Center, no, the kids were crazy. It was some schools from Tampa. It was some schools from Tampa, Florida. And I know this because there was a room mom. She was sitting next to me in the simulator. And I said, wow, there are a lot of kids here today. She was like, yeah, we're here from Tampa. It's field trip day, and I'm not a teacher. I'm just one of the moms coming here to help out because we were kind of short. So, but anyway, she commented on my fragrance. So this was in my purse. I love it. It's a great hand feel too. I shared it with her as we were waiting for everybody to get strapped in, and she loved the bottle. I told her it was Target. I told her it was super inexpensive, and she said that she was going to go out and buy it. What I also told her was that I have a store, and that I actually paired my dupe for SANTAL 33. I paired Bourgeoisie with Jungle SANTAL, and when I tell you here once again, the fragrance just lasted the entire time. The sandalwood undertone with the, I know I said that it's sweet, it's rich, and it's warm, but I do get some spice from the undertones of the notes of the sandalwood. It's just really, really rich. I am just the biggest fan of SANTAL 33. However, I'm not the biggest fan of the price. So depending on the number of ounces you get, you can spend up to $300 plus on SANTAL 33. Whereas if you go to Target and go over to Finery, you can get Jungle SANTAL for around $20, and the same thing for my Bourgeoisie. highly recommend, if you are a fan of Santal 33, get Finery's Jungle Santal. Pair it with, if you already have Bourgeoisie, pair these two together and they have some really great staying power. You know, a lot of times when we get into luxury fragrances, they justify the cost of, you know, $300, $400, $500 for the fragrance because of its staying power. Well, guys, walking around in 80-degree plus temps at the Kennedy Space Center with hundreds and hundreds of field trip goers, this right here, getting on every simulator, walking in and out of all the different exhibits, everyone wanted to know who was that and what was I wearing. Again, I love that I can just throw this in my purse. This is a plastic container. I don't care. I don't have to worry about it weighing down my bag, and I don't have to worry about it breaking. And so I was able to share this with the ladies, and you know, I had to throw the UNFRUMPYMOMMY store in there and let them know, hey, I also paired it with this. So these two together really helped, I feel, to increase the longevity of the fragrance. I don't know if this alone would have given me the staying power of being at the Kennedy Space Center all day. I don't know, because, you know, I paired them together. But let me know if you have tried any of the Finery fragrances at Target. Is Finery sold at Sephora? Can you find this at Sephora? I'm not sure. This may just be exclusive to Target. But if you have tried any of these, do drop down, leave a comment, and let me know. But yeah, this was my little duo for the Kennedy Space Center. Also drop down, leave a comment, let me know if you are like me and you are in love with all things space. The early space program just still fascinates me. If you have the Disney Plus app on your TV, I think that's what it's called, they have a lot of documentaries on there regarding that are focused on the early days of the space program. It is my lifelong dream to one day see a rocket take off from Kennedy Space Center. That would just really make my day, I don't know, a good day would be had if I saw that. And Eric Chase and I were kind of joking around that they were like, Mom, what would you do if a rocket was taking off from here today? Y'all would have to pick me up. I said I would just scream and probably faint. I know I would faint because it would just be so fascinating. But anyway, these are my fragrances for the Kennedy Space Center. Burberry Touch. Burberry Touch is the next fragrance that I want to talk about. Burberry Touch is a juicy orange, a really nice lime, and peachy. It's like the perfect brunch drink. Orangey, peachy, limey. It's the perfect brunch drink, and I bet it's really pretty too. Got a nice little garnish of a wedge of orange or lime on the glass, but instead of a brunch drink, it's a fragrance. I love it. Burberry Touch has been that fragrance that has been in and out of my collection for years. And so I just recently picked up this little travel bottle. Drop down, leave a comment, let me know if you pick up little travel fragrances to take with you on vacation. I feel it helps when you're going in and out of airports. And also if you're driving. We actually drove to Orlando on last week or week before last, but the smaller bottles come in handy if you are a heavy packer. I take everything but the kitchen sink, and so if I can cut corners on the sizes of my bottles, I will, if I see, you know, one somewhere for a great price. Again, none of these are breaking the bank. I want to say I picked this Burberry Touch up from, where did I get this? TJ Maxx for around 30 bucks. But I just love it. it's a really, it's just a really great juicy scent. What I feel too, and I do get some spice notes in here. For me, Burberry Touch likes to straddle the line between playful and serious. It doesn't know which it wants to do. It like has a split personality. Sometimes when I'm wearing it at different times during the day, or depending on where I have applied it, it'll be very playful. And then other times when I get a whiff of it, it's more of a serious scent. So for that reason, I decided to wear Burberry Touch on the day that we went to Disney Springs. I know everyone is familiar with Disney Springs. However, if you are not, Disney Springs is like it's like Disney's little shopping area. So many great restaurants and absolutely the best picture places, picture locations, and there is Cirque. You can see, I forget which Cirque is there. I think it's Cirque Art. We saw it, what, maybe last year. It's all right. It's not the what was the very first Cirque that we saw there? I can't remember. It was before COVID. But anyway, Disney Springs has a serious side, and in that you can see some really nice shows there over in the Cirque area. You can do some really damage in terms of shopping. There's a Coach store, there's a Zara, there's a MAC, there's Sephora, but then it's also very playful in that it has World of Disney. It has all the cute little fun Disney desserts. So I felt Burberry Touch would be a great choice. Here again, it was a hot day. The fragrance really lasted. But I love also that if I wanted to, because a lot of these fragrances, all the fragrances that I'm going to share with you here today, they are very, again, budget friendly. If I needed to reapply, it would not be a big deal. But you guys will have to drop down, leave a comment, and let me know how you actually apply your fragrances. So on the days that I do not apply my body butters that are going to work with a specific fragrance, I will use just my unscented shea butter, you know, because I do the butters myself. I can make some unscented little containers for myself, and on those days I'll wear them with, you know, something like a Burberry Touch. I don't have a Burberry Touch fragrance in the store. However, an unscented butter works really well. I will say too that Bourgeoisie would work really well with this. But anyway, I love that I'm able to reapply and not have to worry about the cost. This was around 20 or so bucks in TJ Maxx. It was a really great fragrance to wear to Disney Springs. It was just a really great day. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all in on a little secret, all right? Everybody has an Alexa that they talk to and inquire about the weather. When we wake up here in Atlanta, it is raining outside, I will ask her, Alexa, what is the weather like in Orlando? You guys know I love Orlando. For a long time, we even thought about selling this house and moving there, but we decided against it. But now I'm like back on the, oh gosh, I want to move back to Orlando again. But Eric said it was just because we had really great weather that day. On our last couple or so trips to Orlando, the weather has not been all that great, but on last week before last week that we went, the weather was perfect. And so now I'm back in my Orlando bag. I'm like, I don't know, boo. I don't know. What I really need is for a money tree to sprout up in the backyard, and I can take that and go buy me a second house in Orlando. That's what I need. But anywho, Burberry Touch, it's an absolute favorite of mine. Like I said, I've had this in my perfume collection for years. I'll run out of it, don't buy it, wait a few months or years even, and get it again because I feel like there's a gap or something in my fragrance collection, and just repurchase it. I love that the bottle, the design of it has not changed. I love this wood cap. And even on a small little bottle like this where I didn't really pay anything for it, you know, I still have this wood cap on it. So Burberry Touch went along with us to Disney Springs. My last fragrance for today, I have quite a few others. We were in Orlando, about a week and a half? But I kind of narrowed it down to my tops. And of course, some of these I absolutely did repeat. So that's where I had, what, about 4 or 5 that I shared with you here today. But this one right here, guys, Zara Rose Gourmand. Zara Rose Gourmand. There is just something about these Gourmand fragrances. I just freaking love this one. So Zara Rose, of course, you're going to have your rose notes. There's rose oil in here. I actually use rose oil in a lot of my body butters, but it's super spicy. It's super spicy. The spice, however, is a little bit different from the spice that was in Pumpkin Epicy. Zara Rose Gourmand is spicy. It's almost like a pepper, like a really strong pepper. But then it also has those notes of vanilla that I think help to balance it out, right? Much like the pepper and the spice in Pumpkin Epicy did for Pink Sugar. So a really, really, really lovely fragrance. Here again, purchased it from Zara. Not going to break the bank. Just really, really happy with this fragrance. On the day that I wore this particular fragrance, we had what we call in my family an off day. So if you are a Disney vet, you know that if you hit Disney and Universal and maybe what's the other one? Oh my gosh, drawing a blank here. SeaWorld. Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld. If you and your family are just boom, 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 going from park to park to park the entire every day of your trip, there's going to be a meltdown. And if you have little kids, you know what I'm talking about. And even if you have older kids or it's just you and your spouse, you're gonna butt heads at some point and you need a break. So we've always known that we have to have days where we're not in the hot theme parks. So on those days, we kind of hang around the resorts. And so for that reason, we always stay at nice resorts. I will go on vacation and I don't know, maybe not even buy any new clothes, but I'm gonna spend all my money on the resort. I gotta stay nice. I have to stay someplace nice. And so, and it's for that reason. If you are going to have days where you're just hanging around the resort, you want to make sure that your accommodations are nice. And that's just me. You guys know I'm a recovering hotel snob, and it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. It is what it is. And so on this particular day, it was our off day, so we hung around the resort. I freaking love Margaritaville. They have just the best pool. And so because we were at the pool, yes, the body has got to be oiled and moisturized, all right? So Zara Rose Gourmand, not sure if you guys know, but it is an absolute amazing dupe for MFK's Gentle Fluidity Gold. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And who else has a dupe? Who else has a dupe? She be her. Hers is Gentle Fluid Gold. Paired these two together. I had on this really pretty sundress. Where did I get that sundress? I think I got that on a cruise. The only cruise that I've ever been on. I purchased it there. One of the best few things that came of that cruise. Go back and take a look at the cruise videos. I detest cruise. I detest cruises. But purchased this gorgeous dress. And so as I was walking by people's chairs, the fragrance, I guess, was wafting, and so many people came up to us after we had, you know, staked out our area at the pool and just wanted to know, hey, what was that you're wearing? You smell so amazing. And even when we were in the water, the ladies around just commented on how I smelled. And here again, I have to attribute it to the combination of the two. The price for these luxury fragrances, guys, it's getting out of control. It's getting out of control. I cannot go and spend $300 and $400 on something that I'm going to wash off with soap and water. No. Now I will spend a few coins on a purse, yes, but I can have that for a lifetime. I can even pass it along. The fragrances, if there's a great dupe, I'm here for it, right? I am here for it. So $20 or $30 for Rose Gourmand at Zara, and then around the same price for Gentle Fluid Gold on my website at the Unfrumpy Store. It's just a perfect combination. When I am wearing my swimsuits, I want to make sure that I'm extra shiny, super moisturized, and so I was able to be that and smell great with the combination of the two, and the fragrance really did last. That's it, guys. Those are the fragrances that I wore on this past spring vacation with my family. I want to say there were two others, but I think they were just like a body mist, because those were like kind of tool around the resort days as well. The other ones, I just repeated these. Because they were hits. All right, I just repeated them because they were hits. But drop down, leave a comment, let me know. First off, do you have any of my body butters? Bourgeoisie, Gently Fluid Gold. Those were the standouts on this trip. And two, are you taking any spring vacations? And if so, what fragrances will you be taking along? All right, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to chat with you guys about today. This video was chatty, kind of all over the place in terms of my stories, but I have missed you guys terribly. I haven't had a video in a while, so I felt a little bit more chatty today. Shout out to everyone who left their love on the Instagram posts where I shared, because I actually did share that Chase had gotten into the Disney college program. So thank you so very much, guys, for all the love on that. Again, we are just so very super excited. I'm just so excited and so happy for him. He's able to still go to school and just live this little dream of this dream. I don't know if it was a dream of his. It's just something that we never even thought about. Just one day, you know, we were just sitting around thinking about what he was going to do for the summer, you know, and he said he wanted a job. But for me, the thought of Chase, I don't know. I've been working since I was 15. I was working since I was 15. So I really honestly, and I know some of you are going to have little thoughts on this in the comments. Please go ahead and share. But I never really wanted Chase to work. I wanted him to go to school, get a really good education and make good grades, then come out, go to grad school and start his career, start his profession. But so this, I think, is a fun way to have a job, and I don't know, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I'm just speechless, and I'm not typically a speechless person, but for this, I'm just overjoyed and just so very happy about it. I think I shared on Instagram that Disney has about 20,000 applicants who apply each semester or each year, something like that, and they only accept about somewhere between 15 and 25% of those. And Chase was notified the same week that he got accepted. The same week he applied, he was accepted within the same week. And I just thought, I was like, there's no way, because I had watched YouTube videos on it, and some of the students are waiting like 2 and 3 months to get notified. So I thought it was just really great that he got notified within the same week. And then it was just so amazing that we just so happened to be going to Orlando a few days later, so we were able to kind of drive around and just kind of scope out the area and see where he was going to be staying. Guys, it's just amazing. It is just amazing. But anyway, I've talked y'all's heads off enough. I guess I've made a couple of 2 complete sentences here today. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. Really do appreciate all the love, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.